Come on, man. That's a come on, man moment.
Thank you.
Gordon,
Yeah.
you step over here for one bit.
What's that?
Fire away.
Check.
Jacque, what have you heard about how your players handle the off season, especially after summer league, especially you young guys?
I think overall their approach in off season was really good. One of the things, as young as you are in the league, is to learn how to work in the off season. And so that's something that we'll continue to learn. I think for the most part, guys had a great approach this off season.
Coach, do you have any challenge at all not potentially knowing who will be here at the end of the season? You know who you got now, but that may not be what you end up with.
That's not the way I look at things. For me, our general manager has done a great job of getting guys for me to coach, and I'll continue to just take that approach. We all know this is a business, and part of it is things that you do during the season, in the off season, and so that's just a part of basketball. But I'll coach the guys that are going to be here.
Jacque, is there a preset plan for what you do and how you handle Victor this year? It was a long season, but obviously you want to bring him along. Is there a plan for how you're going to do that?
There always is a plan. Whether or not I'm going to share that plan with you, I doubt it. But let's say that I think our past has shown that we've put guys on the floor. That's the greatest way for them to learn this game at this level. He'll have his chance to be on the floor, but he'll earn those minutes at the same time. He's a guy that's going to bring a certain amount of work ethic to our practice and games that I think our fans will be excited to see.
Coach, what did you learn last year start to finish, and how are you implementing maybe some of those changes starting tomorrow?
I think the greatest thing is I take each year as an individual team. The guys learned more about me last year. I learned about them. I won't have one single practice plan that I had from last year. I'll treat this team individually, and that'll be my approach.
Coach, what's going to be the biggest difference from year one of coaching for you in year two right this year?
I think for me, I'll stay the course. The leadership starts with how I approach practice, how my demeanor is, my work, and my ability to stay hungry as an individual, and hopefully that I lead that way. So that doesn't change.
There's a bit of a transition this summer. A lot of the guys were here working out, the physical training staff, Phil coming in. What has he added to the roster, and what effect do you think that transition had on what's going on?
I think overall, for a lot of our guys, this was their first off-season training as professional athletes. And so you think you're in shape. When you come to this league, you're not. And so that challenge mentally and physically. And they did a great job of physically taking care of that, of being in the weight room, eating better, putting themselves condition-wise to be better off. And so that's a challenge of being a professional athlete.
Coach, this team will make the playoffs if blank.
If you ask the question that way, I don't want to answer it that way.
What do you think this team needs to do to make the playoffs?
I think for us, we won't say, and I won't say it's going to take this many games, so this is our approach. What we will do is each and every day get better. We'll be a better team than we were last year. We'll work extremely hard, and where that leads us, we'll see.
Coach, what are you expecting some of the veterans and even some of the non-roster guys to bring to this training camp?
Well, I think this team has a great mix of young guys and also veteran guys, whether it's Nelson, whether it's Aflalo, whether it's Price, whether it's Maxiel. Those guys will help our locker room. The great thing is this game a lot of times rewards experience and leadership, and been there, done that. And those guys have been there and done that. And so it's great for our younger guys to see their professionalism, the way they approach practice, the way they are in the locker room, and learn from it.
How are Glenn and Aaron in terms of their health?
Glenn won't start off training camp with us, but he'll continue his protocol and as far as his rehab is concerned, and we'll address it as he gets closer with us. Aaron had a great off season. He's ready to rock and roll, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in practice.
Are we going to see more of what we saw in the Summer League? Victor getting him minutes at the point guard. Is that part of the plan here, especially in the preseason?
There's only one position on the floor, and probably that's a center in today's game, and that's the way we'll approach things. Victor played some guard for us, and he'll continue to play guard for us. Whether some people want to consider lead guard, point guard, off guard, shooting guard, I'll leave that to everyone else's semantics. For us, I'm going to put basketball players on the floor and let them excel at playing basketball.
Coach, you were not a great shot blocking team last year. What is adding Jason Maxwell to the mix for your defensive team?
I don't think we have to be a great shot blocking team. I think there's something to protecting the rim. Does that mean shot blocking? It doesn't have to parlay and exactly mean that. Can we be better rim protectors? Yes. Is that coming over and taking charges and protecting the rim? Is that being better ball defenders on the ball initially? That'll protect the rim. But being able to be a presence at the rim doesn't necessarily mean we have to lead the league in shot blocking.
Coach, in the offseason, a lot of your young guys, Mo, Tobias, they all worked out together. Is that something you like to see from the young guys?
Indeed. I want to see it from all our players. If all 15 want to get together and go to Hawaii and swim and work out together, so be it. I love it. You spend more time with your teammates than you do with your family a lot of times. And so they become second nature and they become your family. Nothing wrong with spending a little time with your brother.
The guys were mostly here over the summer. They spent a lot of time together. How anxious are you to see them tomorrow, to see what changes in them they'll be? I mean, visibly, I've seen guys this week. They're bigger, they're stronger. You've probably seen the same thing, but what are you looking forward to?
For it to translate between the lines. Looks great in pictures. Looks great when your shirt's off. Now let's translate it to some productivity on the floor.
You had meetings and interviews, of course, with Victor before the team drafted him, but how have you gone about trying to learn about who he is as a person between Summer League and
I think that's the job of a head coach, in my opinion, and the approach that I have is I individually get to learn every single player, and I'll denote time to every single player and getting to know them. I think that's the part of being genuine and caring about the players that you coach, not just what they can give you on the floor, but understanding his background, understanding his life, what makes him tick. Those are the things as a coach I have to do, and that's spending time with the individual. That's how you get that done.
Have you learned yet about what makes him tick, or is this something that you intend to be a day-to-day process?
It's definitely a day-to-day process. You don't do it over the course of a summer. You do it when he has a turnover and how does it respond to my comment. You do it when he has a good game and a bad game and how does it respond to that. So those are the learning steps that you endure. It doesn't happen just over summertime for sure, though.
Hennigan always talks about having a balanced team with the older guys, younger guys. How important is it for you to have a balanced out roster?
Well, I think it's great because a lot of the coaching goes on in the locker room as well. You know, there's only a certain amount of time that I spend with the guys on the floor, in film session. There's a lot of time when they're away from me. And so having veterans have a voice that is preaching the same message is important. And being able to police your area. And so the guy's area is that locker room. And so them having the ability to police their area is important for us going forward.
Jacque, this organization went from contender to last year the worst record in the NBA. What's your message to the fan base who struggle to live with that reality?
It is a reality. That's the first part of it. You have to understand it and accept it and you move forward. I love music. Bill Withers said you can't get to wonderful without passing through all right. Okay, there's steps to a process of getting to be wonderful. We'll continue our steps. We'll be patient but resilient at the same time. And there will be no wavering. And so that's the message we'll stay with, and that's the message our guys will continue to live by every single day.
Your veterans who were a part of that contender, last year it went through just the opposite. Do you believe that they're all on the same page coming back with the reality again that it's going to be an uphill battle night in and night out to win games?
I think that's a great part of it is the challenge that's ahead of them. A lot of those guys were put in positions that they never had been before in their lives. How did they respond to it? I think they're better people. I think their character was built up. That happens through adversity. And so I think we'll have better men in the locker room. Am I going to say to them that we're going to win X amount of games or lose X amount of games? No. Would I challenge them every single day? Yes, and they know that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how they respond, their approach at the beginning of the year.
How close to wonderful are you?
We'll get there.
Do you see Jameer as being a mentor to Victor, or how do you see the relationship between the two, working out the veteran and the rookie?
The thing I learned as a player early on, this is a man's league. There's men in the locker room who are married, who have kids, who want to support their family. That's the approach that you have to have every single day. You come to work, you work as hard as you can. You listen to your co-workers. You learn from your co-workers. But at the end of the day, there's a responsibility upon yourself that you have to have a self-disciplined approach every single day. That's the challenge that Victor will have. Be great every single day.
So Jameer's opinion carries no more or no less weight than anybody else in the locker room with him, as far as you're concerned?
On the farm, there are cockerels and there are roosters. And they live within the same area. It can coexist. Anyone know what a cockerel is?
No,
it's like I think it's an immature, like not immature, but a young chicken, like I think not even over a year. I think that's what that is.
Well, that was a chick.
Now you might want to look that up, Bianchi. Cockerel.
As long as it's not cockroach.
Last year it seemed like guys, even with all the losses, they still took losses pretty hard. How do you keep that attitude that losing is unacceptable, but still kind of growing and learning with this young roster?
It is unacceptable. That's stated. No one is at this level because they want to lose. And we don't want people in our locker room who want to lose. That hasn't changed and it won't change. And I want guys to take it hard and serious when we lose. But understand there's a process to get to winning at the same time.
Okay, last question, please. What was your personal point of emphasis? I mean, was there anything that, for example, that you may have read, a book that you may have read that really spoke to you or anything like that?
I don't think so. Over the season, for me, it was the self-evaluation comes from watching game film, whether it's breaking down tape, seeing end of the game situations, going through personnel, and seeing how I can be better as a coach at getting to those specific guys, but nothing earth-shattering.
Coach, did you catch any of the overseas tournaments like FIBA or Eurobasket to watch Andrew or Nick or Hito?
I did. I watched a lot of games, actually.
What did you take away from Andrew's performance in the FIBA tournament?
I thought he did some really good things. Probably the best game I loved. I think he played Gustavo Ayón in Mexico, and I think he might have had 5 fouls and 0 points. And so the way he responded the next game, he probably had his best game. So showed some life and some maturity to respond and rebound the next game. And I thought overall he did some good things.
Andrews added a three-pointer. Did the coaching staff ask him to add that, or is that something he picked up on his own?
We'll continue to challenge our guys, and so we'll see what areas they can improve on, what areas they can expound their games. And so that's the great thing about basketball. You can continue to learn different facets, and he's learning different facets of his game.
Okay, thank you all.
Thanks, Coach.
Indeed. Great seeing you guys.